Hey, you guys, Stuart here, Along the Most Targeted Citizen. Hope you're having a good day. In my live stream the other day, I showed you, and I probably should have done it before I even jacked the truck up. As you see, because nobody believes me. Weird. Nobody believes me. Weird, even though I show you proof every single day. What did I tell you? Showed you the erratic jerking of my steering wheel. I told you that a couple weeks ago, a month ago, they knocked the pin out of my caliper. Brake caliper pins do not come off. The caliper is what goes on top of the rotor, and that's what holds your disc brakes. And it's got cylinders in it that push out, and that's what engages your brakes. So a month ago, I told you that one of them just disappeared. Brake caliper pins do not come out. I've been driving cars for 33 years. 33 years I've been driving cars. Never seen one come out. No, 40 years. 40 years I've been driving cars. Never had a brake caliper come out. I pulled cars that's been in the woods for 50 years. Driven them. Brake caliper pins do not come off. So I've already replaced one. So here we are again. Look. Pushed this way. Pushed forward. You know why it's pushed forward? Because you got to take the wheel off of it to push it backwards. So if I wanted to hit it right now, that's the new one. Brand new one. There was nothing wrong with this one, you see? But it's pushed out. And what does that cause? That causes the brake caliper to jump, shake, wiggle, and roll. So here we are. I told you exactly what it's going to be before I even took the wheel off. See the exceptions, brake dust? They love messing with brakes. They love it. They love messing with people's brakes because it's easy to do, and you can really hurt somebody. Now, for all the people in the audience that say, oh, they're trying to kill me, you have to slow down, okay? In my experience, okay, listen to my experience. They're not going to do anything obvious. If you got $10,000 cash laying in your house, they're not going to walk in there and steal $10,000 cash and disappear. They're not going to go in the driveway and steal your car and disappear. It's too obvious, too big of a deal, because the first thing is they can't make anything you say make sense. Someone stealing $10,000 cash out of your house makes sense because people are greedy. Someone stealing your car makes sense. Someone breaking in your house and stealing one of a pair of socks, stealing 8 ones of pairs of socks, that doesn't make any sense. Why would somebody steal your socks? Somebody stealing your silverware? Why would somebody steal? Nobody goes, this is crazy. He said somebody's stealing his silverware. That doesn't make sense. That's the things gang stalkers do, okay? Just like this right here. That brake pin, it was hit from the backside, pushed this way, so it would lock up. If not lock up and cause me to crash, then it cost me time and money having to deal with it. The stress of it, just like with the drones. The drones are not going to shoot you with a missile. Do I believe one day they'll have the capability? They already have the capability. There are directed energy weapons on some of these drones, but they're not going to do it. The drones are there to distract you, for one, surveil you. Number two, distract you, to keep you upset all the time, to make you know that there's nowhere you can go that you're not being watched. So, as I said, this is a caliper right here. The mounting bracket is here and here. So this is the caliper. It comes off. This is your rotor. This is your caliper. The caliper goes in there, and these pins is the only thing that holds it in. There's no bolts that hold these in. Just these. Now, the regular people out there that want to deny it's happening, oh, that's just an old piece of junk truck and stuff happens. That kind of stuff happens. Well, majority of people in America and around the world, they don't know how to put a jack underneath a truck and jack it up. The majority of American men now don't know how to take a tire off. They don't know how to change a flat tire. They don't have that ability. And one thing about this truck, if you've been a viewer for long enough, yes, it looks a little rough. I'll put a few dents in it. The truck didn't have a dent when I bought it, and I'm ashamed that that's happened. That's gang stalking as well. But this truck doesn't have but 93,000 original miles. That's got 180,000, and the brake pin, caliper pins never come off. Now, they cut the brake line on it. But how did they do it? How did they cut the brake line? They took a metal brake line, and they put what it looks like is some kind of acid that ate through the metal to rust it. Just salt water. in my 72 Dodge Dart, which was absolutely amazing. 42,000 original miles. This is a $20,000 car. You guys didn't get to see it because it was stolen from me before I opened my YouTube channel. This car was mint. It was a one-owner car that sat in a barn in New York. I worked for it, bought it off a customer. I mowed his grass to pay for the car. This was a very nice car. I've lost my thought about what I was going to say. But they had me destroy my own car. They were projecting voices from underneath the dash. And then with thought to skull, take it apart, come on, we can find it, we can find the speaker, we can find it, we can find the tracker, we can find what they're doing. So here I am tearing apart the underneath of my truck, of my Dodge Dart, and ruined it. Ruined a perfectly good car. Ruined it. I ended up giving the car away for $3,000. And I mean, this car was original paint. The only thing, I mean, the interior was completely new. When you sat in it, you felt like you were 1972. This car was immaculate. The only thing in the world that it needed was the vinyl top replaced. That's it. Not a scratch in the paint, not a dent, not a speck of rust. Now I remembered. Not a speck of rust when I purchased it. Within 6 months of me owning it, you can open the hood. And just like I do when I clean cars underneath the hood, I take purple powder and spray it. They take muriatic acid or even salt water, and they sprayed all inside the hood to make it rust. They went behind the quarter panels to make it rust, just like my Bronco here. I'll show you. They did the same thing to my Bronco. That little bit of rust. They did the same thing to my truck. How do I know that? Because, guys, what I used to detail professionally. I can open the hood of that truck right there and the engine will be clean. I can open the hood of that truck and the engine is clean. Why? Because every time I clean my vehicles, I go underneath it with my pressure washer. I clean under. I mean, look how clean this is. I keep it clean. This is just a little bit of dirt from the driveway from pulling in here. I keep it clean. I keep my truck immaculate underneath, inside, and even the door jambs are just as clean as the rest of the vehicle. But with my Dodge Dart Swinger, they went around it and sprayed muriatic acid so it would start rusting to make it worth nothing. And this is what they do. They have the ability. Think about this. Somebody wants to vandalize you. It makes sense if it's your girlfriend's ex-boyfriend. It makes sense if it's your ex-wife that wants you dead. It makes perfect sense, but to say, is anybody mad at you? No, I don't understand. I think it's the government. Boom, instantly, you're crazy. Instantly, you have lost your ever-loving mind. So what happens when they do this? They can also get underneath your truck or your car because it takes seconds. They have a mechanic. They have mechanics on duty, just like they have locksmiths. They have tech guys, they have locksmiths, they have mechanics. They know exactly how to fry your vehicle to make it break down, to make you, they can make you homeless, because if you can't get back and forth to work, you can't pay your bills. They can make you destitute where you can't even go to the grocery store. You can't even leave. They keep you in one place and control what you do. So they can go in like they've done to this truck, because my steering wheel, this right here is about how my truck always sits. It's either there or, y'all, it's over here is the way it sits. But it's crooked. Now, it used to be perfectly straight, but now it's not. So what does a crooked steering wheel do? Well, you always have to hold on to the wheel, because if not, it'll pull. You know how easy it is? You get underneath here on the pitman arm, and you unloosen one nut, and then you take the other nut and screw it in. Boom. And it changes the geometry of your front end and sets off your alignment. What does that do? Well, it makes you drive sideways. It burns up the tires on your car. Just like this. I paid almost $500 and some to get the alignment done when we put the lift kit on this, because it needed camber adjusters on it. It just gives you more adjustment when you lift the truck. When you lift it, it changes the whole geometry of the front end as well. But what they did after it was perfect. And then soon after that, you can go to the tires and feel the ripple. Listen to the ripple. You shouldn't hear that. It should be smooth. But that's what they do. Just little things, just tweaking the front end. Little things like that. Or they can pop your hood. And listen, guys, you can lock up your vehicles, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you've ever went to sleep in your house with your keys on the table, they have the copy to every key you have. What am I saying? Am I telling you, go out right now and get a new key made? Stop getting your locks changed. Quit making duplicate keys. The more keys there are out there, the more chances they're going to be able to get your vehicles. Okay? Stop it. It's insanity. Because listen, that $12, and I seen it again the other day on Facebook, and I meant to share it. See, let me show you. That's all you got to do is beat it back in. Beat it back in. You see, that's the brand new one right there, and it ain't moved. Beat it back in. And you see it from the back side. It's like that. We'll beat it a little bit further because it's not all the way through. So, I seen the meme the other day, and I should have shared it on this post. But if you spend like $10 a day for 1 year, that equals over $10,000. So if you're a targeted individual, you're already destitute, you already don't have a way to make income, that $10 a day is dollaring you to death. When you go out and change your locks, that's what, 30, 40 bucks? If you got to pay somebody to do it, that's $150 to change your locks. It's to make you broke. It's to take every dime that you have, and they will. They will take, oh, that hurts. They will take every single dime you have, and there's nothing that you can do about it. Nothing at all. So stop spending your money. Start listening to me. Because I'm not going to lead you wrong. I'm not going to lead you astray. I'm going to tell you the truth. It may make you feel good for a night to say, I got my locks changed. But it's not going to last. It doesn't matter what you do. You're not going to stop them. They can knock your window out and have a window guy show up in 10. They can plan to knock your window out, have a window guy there. As soon as they knock it out, they can fix the window in 20 minutes and be going down the road. How can they do that? Are they scared that you're going to show up? No, because they got you surveilled. They know where you're at 24/7. It doesn't matter where you're at. That's why they want us alone. Because if we're alone, we're easier to manipulate. What they did to me on my property is I had 10 acres of land, had a nice house. They dug a trench underneath my house, and it's just like when you're a little kid and somebody steals your hat, like bullies. They'll steal your hat, and you go to grab the hat from the bully, and the bully throws it over here. And you run to the other bully to get it, and he throws it to the next bully. And the next thing you know, you're running around in circles trying to catch your hat because the bullies took it. There's no difference in that and gang stalking. It's the same program. It's the same stuff. They want to drive you insane. That's the purpose. So the basics. Here's the basics. You need to, on a weekly basis, check your oil. Check your water. Isn't that weird since I said that?